You typed one message. Before either model replied, 4 hidden signals graded your question. They silently sent it to the fast answer or the slow, careful one. You never chose. Here's why that matters. The exact same prompt can come back as a shallow instant reply or a deep, reasoned one. And the choice was made for you. So you pay either way, in seconds of waiting or in answer quality. Nobody told you a trade was happening. Who's making that call? Start with what this thing actually is. Sitting in front of the models is a small, fast sorting program, a router. It reads your message and decides, before a single word of the answer is written, which model should handle it. Not long ago, you did this yourself. You opened a drop-down menu and picked GPT-4o for a quick reply, or o3 when you wanted careful reasoning. That choice is gone now. The router makes it, and it's choosing between 2 very different destinations. One is a fast model that just answers. It reads your question and starts typing. The other is a slow reasoning model, a thinking model that spends a burst of hidden work before it says anything. Those hidden steps are extra internal text the model writes to itself to reason things through, called reasoning tokens. You never see them, but you wait for them. Fast lane, slow lane. The router picks the lane. But how does a program decide your question is worth the slow one? So what does the router look at first? Signal 1 is the plainest, what you literally ask for. If you write things step by step, or reason carefully or take your time, those words are a flag. You've told it this is a thinking job, and the router listens. Signal 2 is harder to fake, the actual difficulty of the task. Multi-step math, debugging a chunk of code, and untangling logic puzzle, these score high on complexity. A high score pushes you toward the slow model. Here's the contrast that makes it click. Ask what's the capital of France and you stay in the fast lane. There's nothing to reason about. The answer is just Paris. But ask it to prove a sorting algorithm is correct, and the router sees a real chain of reasoning ahead. That one goes slow. Same box, same you, 2 completely different routes. Decided by the shape of what you asked. 2 signals down. But your words and your task aren't the only things it's reading. Now the 2 signals you'd never guess. Signal 3 is the conversation you're already in. If this thread has gone deep, long back and forth tricky sub-questions, or if a quick answer just failed and you pushed back, the router tilts the next reply toward the thinking model. The history biases the outcome. It's read the room and the room got serious. Signal 4 has nothing to do with your question at all. It's your account. Free versus paid changes which models you're even allowed to reach, and how often the slow, expensive one is on the menu for you. Same exact prompt, different account, different route. And here's the part people miss. These 4 don't take turns and they don't flip a single switch. They add up. Each signal nudges a running score, and the total tips you into the fast lane or the slow one. It's a graded judgment, not a yes or no gate. 4 inputs, 1 number. So if the slow model costs more, why not just run it every time? Fair question. Why not always think? Because thinking isn't free. That slow model writes all those hidden reasoning steps before it answers. Every step is real computing work running on real chips. So the deep model is slower, seconds, sometimes tens of seconds. And it costs far more to run for each answer than the fast one. Now scale that up. When millions of people are typing at once, running the expensive model on every what time is it would be like sending a fire truck to every phone call. The router is how OpenAI rations that costly reasoning. Save the deep thinking for the questions that genuinely need it. Let the cheap fast model mop up the easy stuff. That's the upside. But there's a real cost to you when it guesses wrong. A genuinely hard question can get scored too low and dropped into the fast lane. And here's the trap. The fast model still answers. Confidently, fluently. It just skipped the reasoning that would have caught its own mistake. Underrooted, and you'd never know from the tone. So can you take the wheel back? Yes. And it's easier than you'd think. The router reads your words, so give it the words. Want the careful answer? Say it plainly, think step by step, or reason carefully before answering. You just handset signal 1, and you shove your own score up toward the slow lane on purpose. It's a steering wheel hiding in plain sight. Want the opposite speed? Flip it. Tell it quick answer, no explanation, and you're telling the router to keep you in the fast lane. You stop paying the thinking tax on questions that don't need it. And if you're on a paid tier, you often have the oldest option back, the manual model picker. Choose the reasoning model yourself, and you skip the router's guess entirely. No scoring, no lane assignment. You just go straight to the thinking model. Whisper the right word or take the wheel outright. Either way, the silent judge stops being silent. So here's the whole machine in one breath. 4 things get read before you get an answer. The words you chose, how hard the task really is, how deep the conversation has already gone, and what your account is allowed to reach. Those 4 don't vote separately. They blend into a single score, and that score decides your lane. The router is a hidden judge sitting between you and the model, grading every message you send. But a judge you understand is a judge you can argue with. Those 4 signals graded your question before either model ever replied. And now you can grade them right back. Ask for the slow lane by name or ask for speed by name, and the silent choice becomes yours. Fast or slow stops being a mystery. It becomes a setting. The takeaway is small and it fits in a sentence. Your phrasing is the steering wheel for how ChatGPT's router treats you. Say the signal you want and you pick the lane. Drop a comment with a prompt that came back mysteriously fast or weirdly slow, and let's read the router together.